So why did Todo Yoshimasu, a medical sage and master in the art of medicine, declare that he would rather die than being restricted from sharing these ancient medical teachings on understanding and prescribing herbal medicines, a system so accurate and precise that it would make the most complex disease patterns look simple? These were the stakes for Todo Yoshimasu. So he was born in the early 1700s of Japan, and his family had a strong connection to the samurai. And at an early age, that's all he thought about was restoring his family name. And it wasn't up till the age of 19 where he completely changed paths and desired a life of peace. And he wanted to help people. And he got the help of a student of his father's who was renowned for gynecology, and he learnt traditional Chinese medicine from him. But he was never satisfied with this TCM theory of yin and yang and five elements and six conformations. He found that using theoretical information to try and connect very specific herbs and formula structures to a disease presentation would always be complicated, and you couldn't replicate results and you couldn't examine it or know the outcome of what you're using. So he questioned, had Chinese medicine in fact lost its way? And he went about staying up day and night. So he would basically leave the door ajar in the winter months to stay cold and avoid the furnace. And in summer, he'd leave the windows open to let the mosquitoes in. He'd do everything possible to try and be uncomfortable as possible so he could stay late and ponder these ancient medical classics. These books that were written in the pre-Han dynasty, the Zhou dynasty, where it was very specific on how to use herbal toxins, herbal medicines. It was only a matter of time before he got these profound insights and this enlightening moment where he was in fact right that the way in which to understand and prescribe herbs had been concealed, and there was a method, there was a much more evidence-based model that was available, and it had been forgotten. And for him, it was kind of like understanding that the sky and the water are not blue. That if I asked you to get a bucket of water from the ocean, you could not bring blue water to me. So as soon as you have that understanding, that clarity, it's very hard to go back to this concealed or misinterpreted model of herbal medicine. For Toto, you finally got that insight into what herbal medicine could do and how it should be used in a clinical and practical setting. He understood that these team methods, they needed to be shared. It was very important because as soon as you have that realization, you want to make sure more people are aware of the truth. And for Toto, this was very important. He knew that this knowledge could remove TCM misconceptions and set doctors on a path towards mastery. And these were the stakes for Toto Yoshimasu, that people were basically you're clearing their incorrect thoughts or their empty theories, and you can start to understand the truth so you can in fact become a master in the art of medicine. And in his own words, he said that these ancient medical teachings could never be heard unless he moved to the capital, to Kyoto, where he could actually cure TCM practitioners and the general public with this ancient medical knowledge. But it was there that he had very he had a difficult life. He was unable to provide for his family. They had no money, they had no food, and he thought he was being punished by the gods because he was creating a new path, a new awareness on how to understand herbal medicine. And he fasted for 7 days and pleaded to the gods that he was determined to promote these ancient medical teachings, and starving him would not change his ways. And he asked to be striked down. He'd prefer to die than be restricted from sharing this ancient medical knowledge with other practitioners. But then soon after, it was only a matter of time before hundreds and then thousands of people would, from all over Japan, would come and visit Toto, including the Emperor of Japan and main practitioners of the Emperor, and they would all come to seek his help and try to learn with Toto because he was very famous now as the doctor that could treat the untreatable and cure the incurable. But as Toto always explained, he wasn't bringing about something new. He didn't create these ideas or this system of understanding and prescribing herbal medicine. He was just restoring what had been forgotten. He was just bringing back a very developed medical system of understanding herbs. He was just bringing that back into reality and helping people to understand how they can actually identify formula structures and a way in which to diagnose a pattern or a presentation, which it just means that When there's a disease toxin or there's an obstruction, it inhibits a natural function. The body creates these very specific signs and symptoms which can be identified very easily with specific questions and through the abdominal and the tongue coating. All three always connect, and understanding this structured approach, you knew exactly a disease presentation and a formula structure and how the two connect. And when the two connect, you get these very specific outcomes. And once that desired effect has occurred, natural function is restored. This was not new. This was just something that had been forgotten. This was very important for Toto to explain to people. And his son Nungai would always say that he had this vibration, this aura, this energy when he walked into a room that people would just stop. Some people would tremble, some people would get goosebumps because he had this insight and understanding and being into a herbal medicine system that was just different from anybody before. And this is why he was always regarded as a medical sage or a master in the art of medicine. But as Toto would always say, everything is governed by the heavens. Even the rise and fall of herbal medicine is governed by the heavens. And he stated that even though people might not take to this ancient approach then in the 1700s, there will be a time where people will actually realize the truth and this ancient medical model will again prosper.